1. Alphonse, Al Capone. The name by itself makes one shudder down the spine. Capone, who was born in Brooklyn, New York, became infamous as the manager of the Chicago outfit, a strong criminal enterprise running the city under Prohibition. Early 1920s, Chicago saw him establish a criminal business valued at more than $100 million, yearly driven by extortion, gambling, and illegal booze. Still, what made Capone horrible? It was his merciless enforcement strategies, not just the money. A sobering monument to his might, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre of 1929 executed cold-blooded 7 members of a rival gang who were lined up against a wall. Everyone knew. Even if Capone was never personally connected, this was his warning to anybody who dared defy him. 2. John Dillinger. John Dillinger. Public enemy number 1. Dillinger represents anarchy during the Great Depression. Executing a series of well-publicized bank robberies, he and his group outgunned and outwitted police authorities at every turn. His most infamous flight, using just a wooden rifle he had built himself, he escaped the so-called escape-proof Crown Point Penitentiary in Indiana in 1934. Dillinger's audacity made him a hero to some, but to law enforcement, he was a menace that must be stopped. But in July 1934, his fortunes ran out. Deceived by the notorious Lady in Red, he was ambushed and shot dead by the FBI outside of Chicago's Biograph Theater. Although his death signaled the end of a criminal era, his legacy still haunts Chicago's streets. 3. George Bugs Moran. George Bugs Moran, the toughest competitor of Al Capone. Always eager to subvert Capone's authority, a man oversaw Chicago's North Side gang. Though he hated drug trade and prostitution, unlike Capone, Moran was no less dangerous. On February 14, 1929, St. Valentine's Day Massacre, the conflict between Moran and Capone reached its lethal peak. Capone's men, posing as police officers, lined up 7 of Moran's men and fired targets. Though Moran personally fled the massacre, it signaled the start of his collapse. Moran's time in power ended in poverty, but his conflict with Capone is still considered one of the fiercest rivalries in the history of organized crime. 4. Tony Joe Batters Accardo. Tony Joe Batters. Accardo is a moniker that is spoken in horror among the criminal underworld of Chicago. He began his career as a bodyguard for Capone, but he swiftly rose through the ranks to become the leader of the Chicago outfit. Accardo was not only brutal, he was also strategic. He took the outfit into respectable enterprises while still maintaining control of the streets with an iron grip. When robbers got into his home, they were found dead, having been horrifically shot many times. What is the message? No one disrespects Accardo and lives. Accardo was never incarcerated, which is not the case for many of his contemporaries. In 1992, he passed away quietly, having outlived almost all of his adversaries. 5th, Sam Giancana. Sam Giancana was a mobster, a CIA asset, and a merciless enforcer. Giancana, who was born in 1908, rose to dominance in the Chicago outfit through political ties, harsh killings, and worldwide influence. It is said that his connections to the CIA connected him to efforts to kill Fidel Castro. However, he was dreaded back home for getting rid of everyone who crossed him. For many years, he was untouchable due to his high-profile connections, which included rumored ties to the Kennedy family. Giancana's luck ran out in 1975. He was murdered in his own home. He was shot in the back of the head and then shot in the mouth multiple times. A word from the underworld: silence is golden. The criminal activities, brutality, and power conflicts that these 5 individuals left behind have had a significant impact on the history of Chicago's underworld. The myths and stories that are associated with organized crime still show the impact that they have today. However, keep in mind that no kingdom built on fear and blood can exist long. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you think this criminal topic is interesting.